Welcome back, car family, to the Dream Garage Renovation series. Today, the renovation begins. Last week, I did a shop tour of everything pre-renovation. There's a lot of demo to be done. There's honestly a lot of moving factors. We have electrical, demolition, and like a whole bunch of other things. I've also recently found out that I have termite. That's another thing that I gotta work with. My truck is finally out of the shop, which means that almost all the cars are finally at the new house, minus the R35, which is another whole ordeal, which I will get into later. But next week, I will be having a tour of the entire car collection, getting y'all updates of everything that's going on with all the car projects. But today begins the renovation. Well guys, it is now 1:20 p.m. We started the renovation at 10 a.m. and here's where we're at. I think we got a pretty good amount done, but unfortunately the contractor just left, so I'm basically on my own for the rest of the day. These walls are now gone. I talked to the contractor and he did also recommend that I do drywall rather than plywood, so I think that's the route that I'm gonna go. I plan on taking a lunch break right now to go grab some coffee, and because I need to buy paint for the ceiling. To be honest, I have a feeling that I'm gonna start painting tomorrow, but at least I could prep the ceilings today. We got rid of the stairs, which was pretty heavy, and the stairs were pretty big. Like, it's taken up most of the trash can already, so I think we're gonna have to start cutting up some of the pieces because I don't think all that trash is gonna fit, because I severely underestimated the size of that trash can. If I had done the original route of doing plywood on the walls, it would really make it difficult to do all the wiring, so I really think doing drywall is a way better route, even though it's gonna come out from the wall a little bit more than plywood, so you do lose a couple inches of space on the left and right wall. And the way that I have everything currently mapped out, it's already gonna be tight. I'm just super excited to see all of this finally come to life. All in all, we did pretty good so far. And now, time for some coffee. So let me give y'all a big picture of exactly what's going on upstairs. This plywood is gonna be removed tomorrow, but tonight what I gotta do is scrape these top beams. So I have my scraper over here with the pole. And the reason why I'm scraping off the beams is from the prior build outs that I've seen online. It looks way better, and having insulation there is essentially useless because it's not insulating anything. At least that's what I've gathered from the information that I read online. As for the tumor looking insulation, I plan on shaving it down so it looks somewhat smooth, and because I don't have all the time in the world, it's not gonna look perfect. But once the flat black paint goes on, I think it'll look a whole lot better. I also gotta get rid of all the spider webs and the wasps' nests. And that's gonna be fun. All right, so fast forward to the next day. Not much was done yesterday. It was a mix of lack of accountability and procrastination for sure. So let me show you exactly how much I got done yesterday. Fair warning, it isn't a lot. You can see the insulation right in the middle here. I cleared off this area that's gonna be demoed. This is all from the beams up top. It does look really, really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Once this is all painted and you have exposed beams, it's gonna look like the ceiling's a lot taller. The difference between here and there where I didn't get to, here it looks super, super tumory. It's making the ceilings look a lot lower. Everything here is covered off, so we're essentially ready to begin painting. Okay, so here is how much we've gotten painted so far. It's really just this spot left. So essentially half the building's ceiling is already done being painted. I also decided to get these walls painted. So this whole thing is going to be a mezzanine, but I'm gonna install a metal railing that's gonna be more open. So it's probably just gonna be like poles all the way through. So this whole thing will be open and you'll be able to look over at the cars. Now, as for the ceilings and how they're coming out so far, so in total for just the ceiling, it's gonna come out to around 25 gallons of paint. And that's solely because of the lumpiness, because if this was an actual house, it would come out to like 10 to 15 gallons to finish off the entire ceiling. I really wish that this was all flattened out and that it was a lot less lumpy, but under the time constraint, this looks really, really good. I love how I cut the insulation off the beams because now it looks a lot cleaner. And if you look over the railing, you'll see the parts that I didn't get to. So you can see the lumps along the beams. And without the lumps, it just looks so much cleaner. And it really pushes the ceiling up. All in all, the ceilings are coming out looking absolutely great. I decided to do only one coat of black paint because it's really opaque. And the difference is extraordinary. You can't tell me that that doesn't look good. I am so excited. And now it's my turn. Why do I feel like I look like the Michelin Man right now? Let's get painting! Well, that was fun. And even though I look like an absolute stud muffin, it's probably better I leave it up to the professionals in order to not lose material because paint be expensive. Looks like I am retiring the suit. A few weeks. This is what we got. So yeah, it's been a few weeks since the last video, and this is everything that I've gotten done so far. So if you guys remember that deadline I gave myself for the renovation, it was because Walmart was actually coming here to film a live stream with like a whole production crew, and I needed at least one wall. And we actually managed to get it done right in the nick of time. Like, I mean, the contractors came and put up the wall the night before, and then I painted it the morning of. 1 hour before my live stream, I had paint all over me. But at least we got one wall done. The one really big downfall is because we rushed this wall, it actually needs to be a little bit redone. We also need to finish off that area back there by the front door, as well as the back wall where the garages are, and this entire wall. But at least we got the framing done. The issue is I can't put up the drywall by myself. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a rude awakening during this entire renovation project. I went into this thinking that I could do this by myself, and well, life taught me a valuable lesson. I am too weak to put up 12-foot drywall. I tried picking up one drywall panel and I couldn't even push it. It was really sad, honestly. Plus, I realized as much as I want to do this renovation by myself, I simply don't have the time to, and it sucks. But at the same time, I really want to get this renovation done with so I can finally start working on the car projects. I'm literally like twitching wanting a car restoration project, especially because right before this renovation, I was rebuilding my transmission, pulling out my engine. I was doing the coolest stuff, and now I'm doing woodworking, which isn't bad, but working on cars is definitely way more fun. To be honest, we've gotten a lot done. The walls, the painting, I painted the doors. We cleared this entire area and we have so much car space. The plan is I'm gonna be putting the 280Z right over here where the toolboxes against the wall, then the GT6. I'm hoping to have enough space for the Sylvia there, but I'm gonna hold off for a little bit. Car space over there. The yellow R32 is gonna go over in that back corner, and then my R35 is gonna go over here. here. And of course, whatever project I'm working on is gonna be on the lift. And if I somehow fit a 4-post lift over here, I can get 2 cars of car storage, making that 7 or 8 cars. But there is one thing that I told myself I was not gonna do, and then I did it. Well, okay, hold on. Look down. You gotta tell me, the floor looks good. It was literally covered in paint before, and it was just, no matter how much I finished off this garage, it wasn't gonna look complete until I got all those paint marks off. And now that the floor is finished, it's gonna look like an actual garage. I went with the poor man's concrete. So it's not polished, it's actually grind and seal. So he grinded it 2 times and then sealed it off 2 times. And I also got a gray stain, which honestly made it look more monotone. And looking at it now, yes, it's still curing, but it looks amazing and definitely a million times more better than what it was before. I actually cut a deal with him. So for this 1,300 square foot area, $3,000. And yes, it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but I calculated how much it would be if I did it by myself, and it would have cost me around $1,500 to $2,000, and I most likely would have messed it up, especially because watching him do it himself, it looks incredibly difficult, and I've heard major horror stories of how you can mess it up doing it by yourself, whether how much water you use or what grit you use, whether the hardness of the concrete is soft or hard. And then on top of that, the diamond grinding pads cost a lot, and if you rent it from Home Depot, it comes with diamond cutting pads things, but I heard that they aren't actually that good, so you're probably gonna end up having to buy them again yourself. And needless to say, I would have almost broke even if I did it by myself, and now I know that at least it's done by a professional, and it came out great. So I believe it came out just a little over $2 per square foot, which is an amazing deal because everywhere else I got quoted $3 to $4 a square foot. And if you calculate that out, it comes out a whole lot more. And like I said before, I didn't get this part of the building done, but I do plan on doing it in the next 2 to 3 months, which is where I cut the deal. For this entire building, he told me that he would do it for $6,000. $3,000 for the front half and $3,000 for the back. And if you look at this concrete over here, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of sealing that needs to be done. There's a lot of like imperfections, which means you have to grind a lot more, fix a lot of the cracks. Actually, when you look at it, the front half of this garage, I don't know what the previous owner did, whether he like used some type of sealant already on it, but it was pretty perfectly paved. It was actually just a little bit shimmery and glossy too before I had gotten it grind and sealed, but he never actually finished this part, which means that this concrete is actually super rough and way more rough than the front half of the building was. So yeah, even though there's a lot more that needs to be done, the shop is finally becoming my dream garage, and it's coming out better than I thought it was gonna be because I never even expected to do the floors because, you know, money. But I love how it's coming out, and honestly, I'm just excited to start working on cars. Speaking of the cars, I know you guys want updates on all the car projects, and I'm finally able to film a long form video updating you guys on all the details of the car project. So yeah, that video is coming out next week, so stay tuned for that. And the week after that, I'll be giving you guys a full shop tour, post renovation, of course. And I'm talking with the tools on the walls. I'm even getting a tire rack. I've always wanted one of those. And hopefully the cars will actually be able to be here and we'll have the walls finished. So stay tuned for that video, guys. Thank you so much because we've gotten so much positive feedback on the garage. The video got a lot more traction than I thought it was gonna be. And I'm so grateful that y'all are tuning in for this shop renovation project because this is like a dream come true, and I'm still like in shock that this is reality. So stay tuned next week for an entire showcase of my entire car collection. Peace out, car family.